Perseus was considered as one of the most famous and popular heroes in Greek culture. He was known for his strength, incredible bravery, and slaying two of the most ferocious monsters, Gorgon, Medusa, and Cetus, the sea monster of Poseidon. Perseus was the son of the mortal Danae, and the god Zeus. He was also the great-grandfather of Hercules. The story of Perseus begins in the Greek kingdom of Argos, when King Acrisius was on the throne. Acrisius was married to Eurydice, who would bear a daughter, named Danae. King Acrisius wanted a male heir to succeed him as king of Argos. As time passed, Eurydice bore no more offspring. Disappointed by his lack of luck in having a son, Acrisius consulted the oracle of Delphi, who warned him that he would one day be killed by his daughter's son. Returning to Argos, Acrisius decided to prevent Danae from having any children. To this end, Acrisius constructed a bronze tower with only one entrance, and bronze walls that could not be climbed. Spellbound by her beauty, Zeus turned into a shower of gold, and poured down into Danae's lap, and from their union was legendary Perseus. This is why Perseus was known as a demigod, meaning he was born of both mortal and immortal parents. When King Acrisius realized that his daughter had a child, he feared for his life, but unwilling to provoke the wrath of the gods, by killing the offspring of Zeus and his daughter. Instead, he responded by locking Danae and Perseus in a wooden chest, and casting him out to sea. Perseus and his mother experienced calm seas, after being cast out of Argos. Zeus played a role in that by speaking to Poseidon, the god of sea, so that they may have a calm journey. Eventually, Danae and Perseus washed up onto the shores of the island of Seriphos. There they were found by a fisherman called Dictys. Danae and Perseus were introduced to King Polydectes of Seriphos, brother of Dictys and king of the island. Perseus spent many years at Seriphos. He was known there as a young man with great physical strength, as well as great courage. As the years passed, the beauty of Danae did not diminish, and Polydectes fell in love with Danae, and sought to make his new queen. After unsuccessful courting and consecutive denial by Danae, Polydectes thought that Perseus is the main obstacle for their marriage. Polydectes came up with a plan, and told Perseus that he planned to marry a woman named Hippodamia, but could not do until he possessed a suitable wedding gift, that was the head of the Gorgon Medusa. Perseus volunteered to get the head of Medusa. Polydectes did not know of his lineage, and assumed he would be rid of him, and Perseus would be turned to stone. Polydectes had every reason to believe that the quest was impossible and deadly. Medusa was a Gorgon, a monster with snakes for hair, and a gaze that could make any living thing turn to stone. Medusa was once the most beautiful woman with beautiful hair, who had sexual intercourse with Poseidon in the temple of Athena. In revenge for the desecration of her temple, Athena turned the Medusa into a Gorgon. Barely few days passed, and Perseus set forth on his adventure. He wandered for days searching in vain. No one even knew where Medusa might be found. The gods were taking an interest in the quest of Perseus. Athena and Hermes came forth to help their half-brother. Perseus is taken to the garden of the Hesperides by Athena, and there the goddess gave her own reflective shield, and a magical satchel to Perseus. Hermes then gave his own winged sandals, as well as an adamantine sword. Additionally, Perseus is also given Hades' helmet of invisibility. Athena and Hermes could not give the location of Medusa, but Perseus was told to seek out the holders of this secret, the Graeae. The Graeae were the three gray-haired women who lived in a cave, and shared a single eye and a tooth among them. Perseus grabbed the eye, and blackmailed the Graeae to aid him. Having no choice but oblige, the Graeae informed the location of Medusa. Perseus used Hermes' winged sandals to fly to the location of Medusa's cave, and entered the cave quietly. Perseus turned invisible using the Hades helmet, to sneak past her sisters, Euryale and Southeno, as he could not kill them because of immortality. Perseus approached Medusa using Athena's reflective shield, used the adamantine sword to decapitate Medusa's head with one swing. Quickly, Perseus then picked up the head of Medusa, placed in the satchel, and managed to escape the cave without being harmed. While on his journey back to the island of Seriphos, Perseus flied over Ethiopia, a land being ravaged by a sea monster Cetus. He came across the beautiful Andromeda, who was chained to sea rock, and ready to sacrifice for the Cetus. Andromeda was the daughter of King Cepheus and Cassiopeia of Ethiopia. Cassiopeia bragged about Andromeda's beauty, saying that she was more beautiful than the Nereids. This statement from a mortal outraged the Nereids, who complained to Poseidon. To appease the Nereids, Poseidon sent the sea monster Cetus. The king was informed that the only way to appease Poseidon was to offer Andromeda as a sacrifice to the sea monster.
Perseus took out the head of Medusa from the satchel, and the power of the Gorgon's gaze turned Cetus to stone. After his victorious defeat of Medusa, and his marriage to Andromeda, Perseus continued back to Seriphos. Perseus eventually arrives back in Seriphos, but his return is unexpected. In his absence, Polydectes has taken an opportunity to abuse Danae. Infuriated, Perseus brought the head of Medusa to the king, but instead of just giving the severed head to Polydectes, he again used it as a weapon against his foe. With his quest at an end, Perseus returned the gifts given to him by the gods to his benefactors. Athena incorporated head of Medusa into her shield, making it a powerful weapon. Perseus installed Deities as the new king of Seriphos. With Andromeda and Danae, Perseus then departed from the island, returning to the Argos. Upon hearing this, Acrisius, still aware of the oracle's prophecy, left Argos and went to Larissa. Perseus went to Larissa in search of his grandfather. Perseus was known as a great athlete, with tremendous strength. Upon arriving at Larissa, he found funeral games being held there. He joined in the games, and participated in a discus throwing event. Perseus threw a discus which went off track and into the crowd. The discus hit and immediately killed King Acrisius, thus fulfilling the prophecy of the Oracle of Delphi. After causing the prophesied death of his grandfather, Perseus was ashamed to take the kingdom for his own. Instead, he offered the kingdom of Argos to Megapenthus, who was his uncle. In exchange, Perseus would become the ruler of Tiryns. From there it is said that Perseus went on to form the kingdom of Mycenae. After years of ruling over the kingdom of Mycenae, he died of old age. The sons of Perseus were Perses, the ancestor of all Persian kings, Electryon, Perseus' heir, and also grandfather of Hercules. Since he was a loyal servant to the gods, he was placed in the skies along with Andromeda and Cassiopeia, and has remained there forever. Perseus would die of old age, and lived a happy life. He would go to Elysium after death. He was one of the few demigod heroes to die peacefully.